Hello and good morning. This is Andy McCann coming to you from Woodstock, Georgia, where I own CrossFit Garage. And today we're going to go over some finances because in this podcast, I'm trying to help you build a firm foundation in fitness, food, and finance. And I know I don't talk about finances all that much, but why would you listen to me and should we talk about it? So yes, we should always talk about it because without good finances later on in life, if we're really trying to help you become harder to kill and look good naked, well, if you're harder to kill and you live a long time, you better have the finances to not be a burden on the ones you love. And nobody wants to tell their kid, hey, you need to pay for me. That's just like, who wants to do that, right? So putting your money in a good place and doing good things with your money is smart. I'm going to talk about today a couple things. One of the biggest one is the dumb things that people buy that keep them poor. Now, I will go through a big list, and you probably are doing things on the list. Does it always mean that it's dumb and that it's wrong for you? No, I truly believe. So I am a 1 or 0. Everything for me is very binary. But as I grow older and potentially wiser, I realize that not only are my binaries not correct for everyone, that in reality, it's maybe not shades of gray, it's shades of white and black, right? So yes, there are pretty much smart things like, hey, don't kick puppies. I think everyone's going to agree with that one. Kicking a puppy is a bad thing. So that's black. Don't do that. Probably a good thing is if you see a kid in a ditch and they need a hand up, you're going to help the kid out of the ditch, right? That's a binary 1. That's the good side, right? So it doesn't always reflect back, but mostly it does. All right, talk about some of those things. I'm going to give you a little bit of my history. Why would you listen to me? Should you listen to me? No, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you where I have come from and some things that we did. We made some potentially accidental good plays. Now, I say they're accidental. It's really just following other people's processes. And I'm going to talk about Dave Ramsey and Robert Kiyosaki. We followed their plan, their base hits. Anybody could do them. And weirdly, they did turn out to work. Now, that being said, I told my kids, make a base hit, go to college. That's a good one. Make a base hit, get a degree that's tough, possibly something in the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math world, because people pay more for your brains, and not many people really want to do that. They want to make it easy. So Olivia did chemical engineering, got a job. She's good to go. Evan did computer science, which up until last year was a really good, solid play. He struggled finding a job, did a lot of interviews. I'm very proud of the effort he put into what he did, landed himself a job, and so it's all okay. But sometimes the standard plays don't turn out. Either technology changes, the world changes, or the value changes. Like if you invested everything into Pokemon, well, it went away for a while. And then if you had kept them, it came back and you could have sold all those cards, right? For some money. I mean, not much money, but you know what I'm saying. So it doesn't always pan out. So you need to look at your own circumstances for sure. I'll talk about what smart people or those that are looking towards their wealth typically buy. And I'm going to give you some just sound advice. So don't take it, do take it. You're an adult. I don't care. I want, if you're listening, I want the best for you. If you're watching, same thing. But there's no reason for me not to want to help lift you up. Will this advice or these thoughts be good for you? Man, I don't know. I don't know where you're at. I do know this. Like, take Alan Mullenix. Awesome dude. Love that guy. He is like him, his wife, his kids, all of them are awesome. He's living a very well in integrity. I don't know. Like if we had knights in shining armor, he would be one, and he's growing a family of squires that hold those ideals. Now, for him, does he want to do some of these things? Maybe. We're a lot alike, but he has different goals. I love one of his goals. Hey, I do this because it's a time to connect with my wife. Yes, I love that. I do the same thing. I do some things that are intentionally maybe not the best because it has another point. So you need to understand that inside of the game. They may tell you, a good one would be like, hey, you should not have a gym membership. Just go out and run. Hey, I own a gym, and I'm going to tell you, yes, if you can do it on your own, go for it. If you don't need the other stuff, go for it. Going out and running is completely free. Now, I would say find a way to add some weights in there. But for me, stacking things together helps out a lot and removes some of that cost burden. So for one, I am 52 years old. I don't take any drugs. I don't take any medications. I don't take any, I guess those are the same things. I don't see any doctors. I don't do a lot of the things that most of the 52-year-olds do around me. So I don't have that expense. Is it worth a $200 gym membership? Obviously I own the gym, so my membership costs more. I don't even pay myself. We pay the landlord. But the point is, yes, it is. The time I invest, the money, time, whatever, is worth it to me because I am getting fit. I am staying mobile. I am getting stronger. I am also learning to eat better as I talk to my coaches who live in the world of nutrition coaching. I'm able to move better because they're watching me. And probably the biggest thing, which, man, had you asked me back at my Georgia Tech years, I would have said isn't a big deal, is we're connecting. So we just played D&D last night. There was seven or eight of us in the basement. And gym members or past members, and just having fun, creating memories and being social. So a good expense. What does D&D cost to play? Absolutely nothing. So you could go to the movies and watch something, or you could come and join friends and do something for free. This is, in my opinion, better money spent because not only are we getting a good connection, but we're overlapping some of the things. Okay, so I'm going to go through that as well. A little coffee break, and I'm laughing at myself. I'm already 6 minutes in, and I didn't even tell you really anything. I get so tangential. I do have an outline. I wrote my notes up. I threw it in the chat. I said, make it make more sense. Give me any details that I forgot. And look back. I pay for ChatGPT. So I said, look back at the things that we've already talked about. What did I not add that I should have added? So it made a list for me, and I'm already way off the list, or an outline, and I'm already way off the outline. Okay, a shameful and funny story on me. I did not consider how to teach my kids about money until later. So I think Olivia got it like as soon as she got to college or very close to it. And the other, like Evie, then got it. She's 6 years younger. So it'd been like 6th or 7th grade. I should have done something sooner. What we did was I signed up for YNAB. You Need a Budget Now. Let's see if I can actually pull them up. You Need a Budget. YNAB. Just You Need a Budget? Maybe that's what it's called. Yeah, that's it. YNAB. You Need a Budget. I actually don't use the budgeting aspect of it. I wanted to try to teach them how to do this, but I just suck at it. Better, though, is it's tracking expenses. So it imports all your stuff, and you have to assign it. They don't get any allowance or any college money or whatever unless they assign it. So Levi comes to me and says, Dad, and I'm making this part up. I don't remember the details. I'm old. I don't remember. He said something like, Dad, I need more money for college. I'm like, okay, talk to me. I'm always interested in talking. Give me a why. What are we talking about? I said, how much and why do you think that? So he gave me a reason, and basically it was, I need $200. It allows me to go and eat better food. I'm like, oh, you got me. I'm always okay with better food. So if you're going to go to Cane's or McDonald's, I'm not a fan. But if you're going to upcharge and go to, I don't know, Longhorns, right? So you get a better type of food. Like, I don't even believe that Cane's or Whataburger or Chick-fil-A, all that stuff, it's just entertainment. It's not really food. Actually, you know what I should do? I should buy some Chick-fil-A and some McDonald's and put it out and see how long it takes for it to spoil, which is going to be never because they won't spoil. I've already seen this done. But it's not food. It's entertainment. Anyway, so I went into YNAB. I did a short on Starbucks. And he basically, well, it wasn't just Starbucks, but other coffees. He basically spends about $200 a month on drinks. I was like, hey, I found $200 for you. Stop going to Starbucks. He's like, but. I'm like, hey, I'm pretty well off. And I don't even go to Starbucks. I make my own coffee. I'm pointing to my coffee right now. I make my own coffee. And I drink it black, so I don't even put anything in it. There's no foo-foo, right? Anyway, so there is money to be found if you stop buying the dumb things that they want you to buy. Yes, I get it. Sometimes it's a treat. Sometimes it's different. But if you're like in this fictional example, Levi's spending $200. $200. Let's see. If you bought a $10 drink, 20 days, yeah, it actually could have been if you did that. But there is money to be held on to. And you're thinking, well, Andy, it's just $20. Yeah. But over time, it adds up, right? There's something like the $50,000 coffee habit. I don't know where I heard that from, but it is a funny one to go through to see how much do you really spend when you go out and drink coffee every day from the boutique places. Okay, so going on the gym analogy, man, the standard story is I have a treadmill, but it's a clothes hanger or clothes wire or whatever for my clothes. I just hang clothes all over it. Bad purchase, right? This is one reason I actually still go to the gym, because I don't typically motivate myself on a daily basis. I can do it every once in a while. I go on a long bike ride or a long run or something, but I can't do that all the time. People buy things like, what do they say about a boat? It's the best time for you in a boat is when you buy it and when you sell it, right? I am not saying don't buy things that make you happy. I know they say money can't make you happy, but when you're riding your boat and you're bouncing up and down on the waves and this wind's blowing in your face, you're smiling, you're happy. So it's not exactly true what they mean. I think what it means is boats and things don't bring satisfaction in life, long-term journey stuff. It does bring happiness in the moment. But it is possible to rent boats. You don't actually have to buy it. Then you don't have to keep up with it. Most people don't use the boat as much as I think they use it. I would say if you have a lake house or live on the lake, then yeah, probably a boat makes a lot of sense. You're out there all the time. Though for me, I wouldn't even have a lake house. I have a house, and that house, well, I try, it didn't really work well, to turn most of my things into assets that make me money. Can we turn some of the house, the room over the garage, into an Airbnb? Yes, except my wife said, hey, please don't do that. So I turned that part off. We were trying to go big scale chickens, well, big scale local, and realized that it just cost too much. It's like $1,000 an egg. It's never going to pan out free ranging, and free ranging saves you on food, but it lets the hawks eat everybody. So there's some trade-offs in that, right? So if you can make the things you purchase turn into assets, which is a Robert Kiyosaki thing, your home is not an asset because it doesn't make you any money. I know most people disagree with that, but I love that statement, and it serves me well. So maybe it's one for you to listen to. Okay, so a big thing is, just like you would make base hits, singles and doubles, and I hate that I have a baseball analogy because I don't like baseball at all. I just can't sit and watch it. I can watch some of it, but like just hours and hours of sitting there in the sun beating down on you, no thank you. But I'll watch soccer. I don't know, it's weird, right? But I have a baseball analogy of hitting singles and doubles. I know. It's just basically get on base. That's the big thing. And then keep moving your players around the base. So most people don't go broke because of one thing. There are some of you that do that. Some of you are like, damn, I got wiped out. A big mistake or a big wiper outer of finances is usually like divorce. 50% of marriages end in divorce, so that's a big one right there. I think I listened to a book on Audible, and it was, maybe it was Family Wealth or Family Planning or Family something. And there was like three things. One of them was divorce. The other was something, but it was a destroyer of your wealth. So would I go into a marriage with a prenuptial? I mean, maybe. Would I maybe pre-agree to my wife, like, hey, if we split up, let's do it this way? I mean, I don't know. That sounds kind of weird. So there is some advice that's like, hey, how do I even implement that into my life? I don't know. But divorce is a huge destroyer of wealth and, well, I suppose possibly lives as well. Try to work it out if you can. I know counselors. Actually, I should pull his page up. Here he is right here. Andy Batchelor. What a great first name. He has Simplified Life. Reading out loud, my nemesis. So go find somebody, talk to them. Don't just say, hey, it's over. It's way better to spend time there. Coach Jamie is also a counselor. She doesn't specialize in divorce, but she does specialize in feelings. And guess what? These are feelings. So yeah, make sure you give it a big college try there, right? All right, so dumb purchase number one is buying a brand new car. When you drive it off the lot, it depreciates super fast. Usually there's a big payment on it, and you're going to get slammed with taxes and insurance and all sorts of stuff. We're rather well off thanks to the rental property shelling out and funding a lifestyle. I don't have a lot of disposable income, but we're able to persist. I do not congregate that money, collect it up, and then go buy a brand new car for myself. I have always either driven my wife's old car or bought a used car for myself. They're way cheaper. You already know what's going to go on them. Typically, they don't, well, these days, they don't really have problems. If you buy them from like, what is the AutoMax store, Auto Nation, golly, I can't think of the name of the store. CarMax. Typically, they do a very good inspection because they don't want you bringing it back. There's a lemon law, at least here in Georgia. So if you buy a car in under 30 days, it's a lemon, you can take it back to them. So they don't want that. So they're going to inspect it. So try not to buy used cars, buy something used. Now, I will make a caveat. My wife, again, do you want to please and keep the relationship well or follow a principle? She has had bad experiences with used cars. So she's like, I'm out. I'm done. It left me stranded. And this is back in the day when used cars, like you would buy it from somebody off of, what did you get? Auto Trader, the magazine. And it's like, hey, I'm selling a 1992 Honda Civic. You're like, great. That sounds like what I want to do. And you go and you meet them and they're like, yeah, it works good. You drove it around, you hand them cash. They say, see ya, and you drive away. So she has been burned badly. So she's like, screw that. I will get a new car. I will fund that myself if I have to. So we do that. But then her car gets moved down. So everybody else, if we do anything, gets some sort of used car. Though, don't let rules violate your principles. Principle is happy wife, happy life. So don't let the rule of drive used cars mess that one up. Next dumb purchase is storage units. I know you're like, well, Andy, where do I put my stuff? Well, I think that's the point. Don't have so much stuff. I do see the value in things like, I should grab one of these starter kits. I have the starter kits of D&D. I bought several of them. They're still in the wrapping, and I'm going to put them off to the side. Why? Because when we started playing in 1983, apparently now people enjoy that stuff. I'm like, okay, well, I could have held on to my things, but I toss a lot. So what do you save? Man, I don't know. Collector's item isn't really all that awesome if you spent a ton of money collecting it and keeping it. For example, the D&D Red Box from 1983. I'm looking at some prices on eBay right now, and it's like under $200. So would it have been valuable for me to save that for $200? No, I don't think so. Well, I mean, it's a box, so I did save it up here. But you know what I'm saying is sometimes the value of the thing you save and the money that it costs to save it isn't the value. So yeah, just get rid of it, right? You're literally paying money to store these things. Do you even touch them? We just did a basement cleaning. Yeah, I've got an unfinished basement side and we throw junk down there all the time. And one year, man, when was it? I don't know. Let's say it was in the end of 2020. I don't remember. We spent a lot of time at home that year. I ordered a dump truck, and the guy's like, well, you got the small one, but I've got a big one available. If you want to do that, I'll just up it by $10. I'm like, sure. So I bought it for a week, and he's like, hey, it's actually Christmas season, and I'm out of town, so is it okay if we leave it there for a month? I'm like, yes. You made me get the biggest one. You want me to leave it here for a month? Hold my beer. I'm going to fill this thing up. So I just went through the basement, and I created two options. I was like, this is stuff that I know is mine, and I haven't touched it in more than a year. It's gone. Then I made a pile of stuff that isn't mine. It's the family's of some sort. And then I would ask them, did anybody touch this? Actually, I would send a video because nobody would come down and look. I'm like, did anybody touch any of this? No. Okay, great. It's gone. And I unloaded so much stuff. It was awesome. So I know some people would put that on Facebook Marketplace and sell it or maybe give it away for free. I got it. But I had this dumpster. The goal was to get rid of things, and that's what I did. So no, I wasn't paying a storage unit, but I still had a lot of baggage that I was just holding on to. Okay, another fun one for me is lottery tickets. I don't play the lottery, except my kids reap the benefits from the lottery. The lottery has got to be the most backwards thing I have ever seen. You take the people who buy lottery tickets are typically underwealthed. So they're, poverty line. They're just living, less paycheck to paycheck or whatever, right? So it's usually the poorer class is buying a lottery ticket with the hopes that something happens. I get it. It's a hope. They're buying hope. I got it. But that lottery ticket then creates the Hope Scholarship and the Zell Miller Scholarship that my kids who are living a good life get to use to go to college on the backs of people playing lottery. So it's a weird thing. My kids now are earning, two of them are, actually all of them have jobs right now. So they're all earning money and paying taxes. That taxes goes back to the things that the government spends on, sometimes being a poorer class, right? Not all the time, but sometimes. So it's a weird thing. They're spending money on hope and not really winning the lottery, but in a way they are, because they're creating kids that get to go to college that then will pay taxes that then pour back into and maybe keep people there? I don't know. It is such a weird thing. I would love to do a study on the lottery, the Powerball and all those things, to see exactly the flow and how and why it works. The psychology of that money is just nuts. This is subscription creep. So this isn't a big thing for me because I see it and I'm like, no. But my kids fall into the trap. I've told them you can either have Netflix or Disney. You can have Amazon Prime or, right? So just one thing. Actually, Amazon Prime doesn't cost, I think you just buy them per, right? But somebody picked up a Disney subscription and I'm like, hey, whose is that? And are we using it? Because I'm going to kill that. So because of YNAB, that thing you need a budget, I see the subscriptions at least come on my card. I do every once in a while look at their cards, but not much. It's up to them to track it. And I see, especially the younger two, will have creep on some of the things that they're looking at and buying. So Netflix, Hulu, Disney, Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Now, meal apps, I would say meal prep and meals to go. Like what do they do? Like those, golly, I forgot the name of them, but they ship you pre-made food. I think some of that is better than if the alternative is you're going to go out and eat, because going out to eat is pricey and it's usually not real food. And then fitness apps. But I am a fitness guy. I don't wear anything. I don't have a belt. I don't have knee sleeves. I don't have any of the stuff. I don't do grips. I don't do any of it. But if I could have a way that wouldn't have a subscription, I would totally get like an Oura Ring or an Apple Watch or whatever to track things. I love data. I'm an engineer. I want to know the data and how to massage it and use it. But I don't want to pay for the subscriptions and a $5 subscription. I know what they're doing. It's like this, having a gym membership. Wait a minute, gym membership's a subscription? Yes. But do you come in and use it? So the big guys like Lifetime, they have 10,000 members and they hope you don't all show up, because if you did, it would blow their model. And then there's a thing you can do. You're like, well, I've got a rate that's like, I don't know, $80 a month, but I'm quitting. And they're like, don't quit. Instead, just pay us $5 a month and we'll hold your $80 rate. So now you're paying them $5 for nothing, just for the ability to hold a rate that you're probably never going to go back and use. Gah! It's the dumbest thing. Now, going back to our gym, I have actually, I would say fired. It's not really the right word. I have encouraged members that are paying and not showing up to just pause or quit or cancel their membership and just renew whenever they're ready. Because I don't know, it's just an expense. Why would you do it? Now, on the flip side, I've had people say, don't, because it's a motivator to get me back. Okay, no, sure. Anyway, so subscriptions, watch out for that. I already mentioned this one, constant restaurant food. So just buying all the time, it can, if you're literally going out to eat every day, that could range. I mean, it's like $20 a meal and dinner's always more. So that's $60 or $80 a day that you're spending money on. Now, a dumber one would be doing DoorDash and stuff. So just, go get your own damn food. Don't upcharge it and DoorDash it. That's just insane. My kids know if I see that, all bets are off. They lose everything. Do not DoorDash. If you're that damn lazy, then I know. Come up with something else. Now, on the flip side, if you're a DoorDash driver, man, make your car make you money, right? Other things that can really rough it out are things that you buy to feel better. Now, I would say therapy would be better than just buying you stuff, but hey, fill in your own life things, right? Did you have a bad day and then you bad something? Now you're creating a habit. You feel stressed, you go to Amazon and start clicking. That's a bad habit. You're bored, so you scroll purchase. That's a bad habit. I just, watch out for those dopamine hits. And the payment comes due, right? So come up with a better way, like exercise. I don't know, something to help you feel better, or talk. Now, I think paying for experiences is way better than things. So we do things like that, like go to Camp Ocoee, go skiing or whatever, an experience. It's not a recurring cost. Now, I will say paying for the experience of somebody else is pretty wise. So if you are needing help, hire a therapist. Jamie, let me pull up her website right here, Fox Oak Counseling. If you need help, this is literally what she does. She talks to people and gives them the tools. I will tell you that in the 80s, when they're like, hey, you're dyslexic, Andy, you're just an idiot. You're just not going to make it in life. That sucked. Then you create your own tools to solve the problems. Then fast forward to my daughter, Evie, we go get her evaluated so that she could get access to these tools. They're like, yes, pay us. We'll tell you what you already know. She is dyslexic. But they have tools for her. There's all these things you can do for the problems that you've got that I had no idea existed. Jamie and her counterparts have those for emotions, right? For the tools, your brains, your mindset. They've got this. If you want to speed up the process, hire a professional. Tell them your stuff. Ask them, how do I do it, right? So other dumb purchases would be like things, we already went kind of through this, things you would never use or you buy and you don't use, like a treadmill, a Peloton, a rower, home gyms. I love what Sharon says. Every time I've ever seen anybody buy their home gym stuff, set it up, and then quit the gym, and I meet them a year later, they seem to be worse off because it's so convenient. They don't use it. Or whatever, the motivation is gone. So for me, the $200 a month to be able to squat below parallel, not have any drugs, not have any doctors, that's like easy money. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look that up real quick. All right. So my question was, what does the average 50-year-old man spend on healthcare per year? So it says an American aged 40, so it's not a man, but 45 to 50 spends on average $6,748 annually on healthcare stuff. What? That is insane. So $200 a month, that's $2,000 for my gym membership, is way less than $6,700. So I am, holy crap, I am way below the average. That means if it's an average, some people are spending way, way more. Okay. Oh man, that sucks. Another one is the extended warranties. Every time you go and buy a thing now, they're like, oh, do you want the extended warranty? I always say no because I have fallen into the trap. It was Six Flags. They're like, hey, if you want, instead of just buying one ticket, you can upgrade to a season pass. So all you have to do is come 1.75 times or whatever it is, right? And you've paid for it. I'm like, oh man, 1.75, that's less than 2. And I'm already here. Sign me up. I have never in the history of the planet gone back twice in one season. I just don't go to Six Flags that much. I know they packaged it with Whitewater as well. And that's just a water amusement park. And we just wouldn't go. It doesn't work. So I always say no. Even when they're like doing trip insurance, I'm like, no, I will self-insure. Have I ever not gone on a trip? I've not done races because I was sick. I don't think I've ever not gone to a thing because I was sick. I think we went skiing last year or 2 years ago, and somebody was like, I don't feel great. I'm like, well, do you want to stay? They're like, no, let's go. And then it must have been Evie. And we're on the slope, and she spread her skis apart while we're getting off the chairlift and just barfed into this pine tree. And she's like, okay, I'm good now. I'm like, okay, well, do you want to get some water? She's like, yep. So, hey, we go even when sick when we spend the money because the experiences are fun. Another easy one is impressing people. A lot of folks buy cars, watches, clothes, handbags, all that stuff to show a status, which I am oblivious to. So if you ever try to impress me with stuff, it's never going to work because I have no idea what that stuff is anyway. I don't know. I don't ever keep up with any Joneses, any of that stuff. So don't buy things to impress people. Kind of already mentioned this one. People neglect their health. They don't invest in themselves. They buy other stuff. So that would be a good purchase, I suppose, would be on the side of that one. Okay, what else do I got for you? Or the things that I would buy. Like I said, I buy experiences, adventures. I'm not huge on the travel, but events and gatherings I like, family memories. I do buy skills, certifications, education, coaching. I think that, what do they call that? In the, that's the other book that I would have gone and given you guys is the 7 Habits, guys, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. You know, sharpen the axe. Let's see. Franklin Covey. I thought that was Stephen Covey. Oh, well, I guess that's what it is. I'll cover him in a second. But yeah, so I buy health. I buy quality food. I do have a gym membership. I have such a membership. I'm in deep. Let's see. The rent is over $6,000 a month, 12 months. That's $72,000 a year times 5 years. So 5 and 7 is $350. So I'm on the hook for about $400,000. That's what my gym membership cost me. If we all walked away, I would still have to pay the $400,000. So yes, I have a really expensive gym membership. I do buy assets. We buy rental properties, real estates, other investments. I use the lens of Robert Kiyosaki in what is an actual asset. So it doesn't agree with what most people would say. I don't buy relationships, but I see what my note there was relationships connection. So time with family. And actually some of the things we do are super cheap. Board games, you buy it once, you play it a lot. D&D, you actually really don't buy anything. Going out on, well, I guess you have to buy the adventure race, but we go out and have a great experience. So it's usually a 10-hour race and it costs like, I don't know, maybe $200. So $1 per hour is pretty dang good, right? Okay, so other things. I promised you a sort of list. These are things that I had thought of, and then I ran it through the interwebs and chat and said, give me the other things that people buy. So it's not a comprehensive list, but you might find yourself on this and just consider, why did I buy this and how am I buying it and so forth? I would say anything that directly negatively impacts you is probably a starter. Like it's number one on the list is cigarettes. You buy them, you literally just burn money and you're killing yourself. So yeah, it's like, that's a tough one, but I know it's addictive. So right. Then we got vapes, lottery tickets, scratch off tickets, your daily Starbucks or coffee. It's interesting that it threw in actual Starbucks. I guess they're such a big coffee ring or whatever chain. Alcohol. So alcohol at bars is way worse. It's just the massive upcharge than alcohol at home. And again, if you're drinking wine because you're like settling down, and it's a routine with the wife or the husband or whatever, hey, cool. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying if you're like, well, I drink wine all the time. Well, that's a different problem. And you're just supporting a habit, right? DoorDash, Uber Eats, fast food, brand new cars, luxury vehicles. Let's see, expensive rims to beef your car up. Boats you don't use, jet skis you don't use, RVs that just sit in your parking lot, storage units full of stuff, designer handbags purchased on credit, high-end watches, excessive tattoos that are especially financed. That's an interesting one for me. I have friends that tattoo and I don't. Not that I don't get it, but I don't know. I just like marking myself with the thing. I don't know. I don't even mark. I guess I'm not a very sentimental person. So I've got some pictures on my wall, but yeah, I don't know. I don't mark up my life with those things. I'd rather do the things. Though I can see the benefit or the value of do you remember and always being reminded or something, but I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd love for somebody that does do tattoos to tell me, hey, what are your thought processes? You're like, I know, I'm just throwing money away. Or no, it's a totally worthwhile investment. That'd be an interesting one, especially, at the gym, a lot of people have tattoos. Okay. Casino trips, man, Las Vegas exists because we're idiots, right? So don't go gambling. Sports betting is another type of gambling. We already talked about subscriptions. You upgrade your lifestyle. So you take like this phone, your smartphone, and keep upgrading it every year. It's just not worth it, right? Timeshares can be worth it if you use it a lot, but it's usually a sign of I spent money poorly. Financed furniture. There's some better ways to get furniture these days. Going into collectibles that really aren't that much of an investment. Impulse shopping, Amazon or whatever, right? So there's a lot of things that could happen. Maybe a twist that I would put on it is when you go to buy something, can I afford it? Or maybe better is, will this make my life better in 5 years? So things that I think make my life better is exercise, purchasing coaching, purchasing education, eating healthier food. Now, on the food thing, I am still eating carnivore with Evan, pretty much just meat and eggs and some cheese. I did add in some sort of peanut butter and cashew butter fudge. That's all it is. I do put some pumpkin spice in there. The funny thing is the carb count goes up, and I can tell by my swollenness that the carb count has gone up, even with just peanut butter. So I'm about to remove that from my life once I get done eating what I made. Healthy food, books, skills and training, marriage counseling. Man, how long have we been married? We got married in 98, so we're coming up on 30 years. Guys, stay fresh, stay frosty on the marriage. Go get some counseling. You probably don't need it, but maybe you do need it. Own a business. I wouldn't say, I think a big thing is having multiple streams of income. I would say make sure the main income is your main income. Do everything you can there, especially if you're in sales or you get bonuses. That's a great side quest. It gets your bonus, right? Real estate's a good thing, and quality tools. So buy DeWalt versus Timmy. Don't buy the stuff that doesn't last, even though it's cheaper. Okay, not to make this a religious thing at all, but I will say a lot of my ideas come from the Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth, and those are broken down into Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Dave Ramsey's Get Out of Debt, right? And Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. These things are broken down. I said, hey, chat, just summarize for me real quick. What's the Bible's philosophy on wealth and poorness and all that? So it never says money is evil. It says the love of money, right, is the root of evil. And it never says poverty is holy, right? So if you're going to be unhappy, you might as well be rich, right? It teaches that wealth is a tool, stewardship is responsibility, and character matters more than possessions. Yes, it's all that. It teaches about hard work, about saving and preparing, avoiding debt. Be honest. Dude, I would love it if more people in the world were honest with their business dealings. Be generous. I mean, I don't tell you what I do because I don't want to toot horns, but I try to be super generous. And I don't do it for it to come back, but it does come back to you in various ways, right? Don't love money, but use money. So avoid the love of money, right? Invest what you've been given, so don't just sit on it. Wealth is temporary. You're going to leave, right? So don't hang on to it so tightly. Seek wisdom and, keep your principles in front of you. Okay, so 7 Habits. If you haven't read this, it's Stephen Covey. He goes through the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He's made a life on this. Essentially, he says there's 4 quadrants. Spend your time in the things that are important but not urgent. And then actually, does he even list out his 7 habits? What are his 7 habits? I can just tell them to you. Oh, they do. Okay, right here. There's 7 habits. Okay, so independence is on the top of this circle, and then dependence is at the bottom of the circle. So in your independence, habit number 1, be proactive. Habit number 2, begin with the end in mind. That's like, what do they want you to say about you when you're dead? Start there, and then work your life in reverse, and it'll help you have a better trail to journey on. Put first things first. So that's the important but not urgent. Think win-win. So like basically how do you structure a deal or a thing that everyone gets what they want? It doesn't have to be lose-lose. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Yeah, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in that proportion. Habit number 6 is synergize. That's old school word to say do things that multiply, like the gym. I use it for fitness. I use it for looking good naked. I use it for harder to kill. I use it for training for my events. I use it for connection. I use it for multiple things, right? CrossFit Garage, that's the gym that I speak of. Okay, so Dave Ramsey, his backstory is he was a landlord. So the bank sold the bank to some other bank, and they said, hey, there's a 20-year-old that's got several $1 million out with us. Let's call that junk in because that's dumb. And he's like, whoa. So he had to sell stuff and liquidate, and it ruined him. And he said, you know what? From now on, do everything without debt. So I love it. He's got the snowball method. So start with the smallest debt and build up to the biggest. So let it snowball down the hill. 80% of the people who start the snowball method succeed and finish and pay off all their debts. And usually it's shorter than they think. The other way to do it is the avalanche method. You take the worst one and you hit it first because it makes most logical sense. Here, in this case, logic makes no sense. Only 20% of the people who start the avalanche model actually finish it. So weirdly, do the dumb one because it actually works. He has other things in there and I love it. He has counselors. He's got his own budget software. He does real estate. The guy's just like, yes, the dude's made a fortune on the idea of get out of debt and stay out of debt. Robert Kiyosaki, his big thing is think like a rich person, not a poor person. So his Rich Dad, Poor Dad was his biggest thing. And what his rich dad told him about finances, basically buy things that are assets that build up your life. Don't buy things that are debts. The other thing that I was going to tell you is most of these guys say, hey, get into real estate somehow. The biggest no-brainers in the history of no-brainers is this site Zillow, Zillow.com, Zillow.com. You can put in rental properties. You can put in other properties. So if I was to go back now and start investing, like I tell my kids, like, hey, you could look at doing this with your incomes. Once you develop a backlog or some cash built up, what would you want to do? So if we look for homes for sale, let's see if I can just pull up buy homes for sale. Yeah, cool. Oops, I don't know what that is. Okay, so this is that Woodstock? No, it's Woodstock. I'm going to remove the boundary. So there's a ton of stuff for sale. So in Woodstock near the gym, I could buy, oof, damn, look at that. There's a $900,000 home and a $300,000 home. What is 900,000? Holy crap. Is that in downtown Woodstock or something? I don't know. That's crazy. Let me go over towards the garage. So if you go to our gym and then there's a neighborhood behind us of smaller homes, even those homes, it's wow, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Okay, it's 4-bedroom, 2-bath at 1,000 square feet. So that's just like, hey, we're living, and the home is that's just what it is, a place to sleep. 1,000 square feet, $335,000. So that actually isn't too bad in terms of Woodstock and buying a home. But so that's just as a placeholder. Actually, let me find something that's a little bit more. Let's go into the Woodlands. And where's the Woodlands? That's Nice. And the Woodlands, does it come off of Nice? Yeah, there. Is that Woodlands? Trickham Road? I wish I knew the areas better. Nice, that is the wrong road. We went Trickham Road. Okay, here we go. So back in the Woodlands, one of their kind of starter homes thing is called the Parks, or that type of house. And so we're looking at a 3-bedroom, 3-bath for 2,000 square feet, and that's $474,000. So let's just say 2,000 square feet is 500,000. That's easier math in my head. And then let's scroll out. What would I do? I would go to the next place. It's not Canton. They've already been building there. It's Ball Ground, right? Who lives in Ball Ground? that's right. Why would you live there? Isn't that so far away? Well, everything catches up. So we go to Ball Ground and we look for something similar. So here's a $500,000 home. And you click on it and see what it's got. Oh, it doesn't list everything. How helpful. So, oh, interesting. This is the exact same house for basically the exact same money. So that's not cool. It's already costing. Now I wonder what's on the inside of that house. Let's look at another one. $500,000 home. Yeah. Okay. This is more of what I expected. So this is again, 500,000, a little bit more, but a little bit more than 500,000. 5 bedrooms, 4-bath, 3,800 square feet for the house. And I'm looking at this thing. It's massive. It's got a huge wooded backyard. So for a little bit more money, you're getting, let's see, what did we say? It was like 2,000. So we were getting double the house for not double the price because I moved away. Now this is right in downtown Ball Ground. So what if I went away from, oh, look at that. If I went away from downtown Ball Ground, I could get on the river, and now I've got $1 million homes. I don't buy on the river. I thought there was another Pulte neighborhood that they built right out here. Let me go over here. Here is that's 355. Okay. 500,000. There we go. 500,000. Oh, interesting. So it depends on what you're buying. It's going to be the same price. So what would be further away? Now it's on 75. I like that. What about Talking Rock? Would that be the next one, or is it Jasper? No, I think Talking Rock. Ooh, Nelson. I've never even heard of that. Let's look at Nelson. So it's a little bit further up, not very far. It's right where, I think this is where 575 becomes an interstate. Anyway, so here's a house for, yeah, see, it's way less. So this is the equivalent house for about $100,000 less. So 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, or 2-bath, 2,000 square feet. So again, going north is a good idea. Now, weirdly, the idea is nobody likes to drive to work with the sun in their eyes. So if you go west of the city, so in this case, like towards Villa Rica, if you're in Atlanta, it's like a Pac-Man shape. The cutout, it slides in like the value of the homes, right? So people don't want to drive to work and home from work with the sun in their eyes. Therefore, they're willing to pay more to get away from that. So everywhere else, so up 75, down 85 is going to be, or is that 75 as well? I don't know. It's going to be more expensive. But if you go 20 west towards California, then the prices are cheaper, right? It's because people don't drive with their sun in their eyes. So we're looking at Douglasville, $250,000. Yeah, oh my gosh. So they've got a 6-bedroom, 3-bath, 4,000 square feet for $250,000. And it is like equivalently where Marietta is outside of Atlanta. So if you were to do that in Marietta, it's going to be like $1 million for that home, right? Let me see if I can find something. So $600,000 in Marietta. Yeah, it's 4-bedroom, 3-bath. And it's not even as big of a home, but it's 3 times the price. So understanding that is super valuable. What would I choose? I like to keep things close. So I would probably still try to buy something local. But it doesn't have to be brand new. You can buy whatever you want. Is this for everybody? Man, no, not at all. It's just a smart base hit. We bought our first house. I got a really huge commission check. We decided to dump it all into the house and pay it off rather than do the stock market. Later on, the stock market tanked. That might have been the dot-com burst. I don't know. Since the year 2000, there's been so much turmoil that I feel like getting out of debt in that house was the best, smartest thing we'd ever done. And it allowed us to accumulate cash for other things. Would it be wise to do now? Man, I don't know. You need to figure that out on yourself. I think so, and I advise my kids to do it, but I mean, where are you at? What are you doing? I don't know. I would say making the primary thing you do earn some good money is awesome. How do you do that? Usually it's doing stuff that's tough with your brain. I would also try to, I love this. The landlord screwed us in a way because they doubled the rent in one go, like the lease to lease. I was like, oh, wow, we're either going to have to shut down the gym or come up with something really different. And we've kept the same price since 2022. So we didn't raise rates, but I did lose our general manager and our customer service manager. I just couldn't afford them. But it created an opportunity for the gym to pivot from we do this for mortgage to we do this for fun. So there are coaches coming on board that are like, hey, I like to coach. I want to learn how. What do you get out of it? They actually usually don't ask that. They're like, I just want to coach. I'm like, hey, you get membership out of that. They're like, sweet. So they get their hobby, CrossFit, for free by donating some hours to help you, which they love. So they're turning their love and passion into something kind of fun, right? So it's a serving thing. Now I know I can't have 100 coaches. That doesn't make any sense. But we do have more coaches than ever before because what I'm trying to do is create uber stability. Yes, that does mean your coaches will change out, but there is... If somebody goes on vacation or somebody says, hey, I'm moving to Alaska, or hey, I need to do less or whatever, the shakeup is less because we're already used to where we're at, where there's not like in the past, man, a long time ago, we had 4 or 5 classes in the morning and 4 or 5 classes in the evening. I only had 2 coaches. They did everything. And I burned them out. And if they ever went to go somewhere, I had to cover a lot of stuff. It just was tough if we all decided to go on vacation at the same time. Super terrible. So we're trying it a different way. Anyway, turn, if possible, your things into helps, which may be free. For example, I do the Lisa Randall, the Mountain Goat Adventure. She does pretty cool races. I typically try to volunteer for her, and she either gives me a price break or I say, hey, I'll sweep the course, be the last rider. So I'm riding the course anyway. I'm just picking up things. I'm slow, so whatever. So it's helpful to her. It's free to me. Now, do I really need to do that way? No, but I also like to help. So of course I'm going to do it. Okay, hey, hopefully this has been an eye-opener or some helpful advice to some of you. Would I listen to me? I mean, I listen to me, but should you? Man, I don't know. I am a nobody in the world of finances. What I probably would do is hook up with Aaron Vincent and Matt Decker and all of the other guys that come to the gym that work here. It's Vincent Financial Group. They help you invest money. I don't. This is what they do. I invest with them. I know, I like, and I trust them. And so I said, yes, let me put my money where my mouth is. Let me jump in with them. And so there we are. Okay, guys, if you need help, give me a shout. My phone number is actually on my website, where you have my email address, andy@crossfitgarage.com. If you email, I will reply. If you call, usually goes to voicemail. If you text, I'll eventually read it, but it might take me a little bit of time. Email is usually the best for me. Y'all take care.